Hi everyone, I'm Brune Smith and this is my podcast. Hi everybody, welcome back to the podcast for people who feel things differently. Today I want to mention a way of browsing the internet that has brought me a lot of joy over the last couple of weeks. I tend to associate searching for things online with disconnecting from my bodily experience and entering this soulless, faceless, disembodied virtual world. But something has shifted for me recently thanks to a very cool free tool that was advertised to me on YouTube. One thing I sometimes feel like I'm doing differently from a lot of people is that I actually believe that many people and organizations are doing great things in the world and that progress is actually happening. I believe that giving in to cynicism and things like everything is going to hell, quote unquote, is an easy way out, and that believing in good is harder but much more productive in making progress and heading into the right direction. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, this is why I've highlighted the work of Future Crunch, for example, a website that sources good news stories happening in the world. They actually just rebranded themselves Fix the News. If you want to check them out, it's called Fix the News. And they also have a podcast called Hope is a Verb. So along those same lines, today I want to share with you this new search engine called Ecosia. Or Ecosia, Ecosia. They are not a sponsor of this podcast. I just like them. They share 100% of their profits, use 100% of their profits to plant trees. They use sustainable sources of energy. I'll put their link in the show notes, or you can Google them. And once you click on their website, it's actually super easy to replace Google or any other default search engine you might have been using with Ecosia. And the reason why it's so great is because every time you search for something, it's like casting a vote to plant a tree. And after a certain number of searches on your computer or your phone on their search engine, they plant a tree. And the way it's been bringing me joy is that anytime I open a new tab on my browser to search for something, right underneath the search bar, they tell you how many trees have been planted thanks to the Ecosia community. Meaning people like you and me who search for stuff through their search engine. When I started a couple of weeks ago, when I started using their search engine, the number was 202,200,000 something. And now, 2 weeks later, the number is over 203 million trees planted by the Ecosia community. Isn't that cool? So, they also show you in the upper right corner the number of trees that you personally have helped plant. So apparently in 2 weeks, I've planted 3 trees. That was 3 trees planted thanks to 190 searches, which is a bit freaky, like really almost 200 searches in 2 weeks just on my computer browser. I guess I am looking for a lot of information every day. But I mean, it's for the good of the planet, right? All right, so I hope this feels good to you and you want to join me in making those searches reconnect us to Mother Earth and offset some of the less endearing things going on in the world. 2 quick updates before I let you go. Number 1, just a heads up that until the end of April, I am only doing 1 episode a week on the Brune Smith podcast because I am currently also creating and publishing an 8-episode audio series called Podcasting Job, where I take you behind the scenes of my job search in the podcasting industry in real time. It's like real-time reporting, making myself the hero of the story, and teaching as I learn. If you want to check that out, the link is in the show notes. It's a real fun, scary, and exciting project. And you can either click on the link in the show notes or just type Brune Smith podcasting job on your podcast app and you'll find it. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. The way to do that is to leave a comment under any post or podcast episode on Substack. That's at brunesmith.substack.com, or click the link in the show notes. You don't have to be a subscriber to my Substack to do so, but if you'd like to join our community of like-minded people who feel things differently, we would love to have you. And on that note, update number 2, coming up this Sunday, March the 24th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. Central European Time, is the first installment of the Creative Hour. It's our monthly get-together for paid subscribers on Substack. The monthly subscription to my Substack publication is €5 or $6 or $8 Canadian. It's a way of supporting my work and hanging out with like-minded folks, and you can cancel anytime. I'm so excited. The Creative Hour is a monthly online gathering where we check in, we practice the art of our choosing for 40 minutes or so to the sound of music, or without music if you prefer, in silence. And at the end, we unpack the magic that happened during that time for each one of us. Creating in community is always something that brings up something more than when we create by ourselves. I've been facilitating writing workshops for a while now, and that always blows my mind. So I'm just very happy to offer one more opportunity to create in community. For this first installment, I'll be offering a creative practice around awe, AWE. Recommended non-required reading for this month, a few pages, if you find them, a few pages from the novel called Tree by Melina Semple-Watts, or a few pages from Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, or a few pages from Awe, AWE, by Dacher Keltner. Feel free to join just to journal, play, knit, dance, cook, or just say hi, or do whatever you feel like doing. I'd love to see you there. If you'd like to give it a try, you can sign up for 1 month and join us. The link is in the show notes. You can cancel anytime. I hope you got something out of this episode. If you did, please send it to a friend. Don't forget to subscribe or follow the podcast wherever you're listening. Go hug a tree. And until next time, let's do things differently.